Hey everybody, this is Nick Mayhew, three-time gold medalist and three-time world record holder, and you're listening to Power 98.5.
We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are here live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. You can download the Power 98.5 iOS or Android app. Tune in on Alexa by adding Power 98.5 in your Alexa skill. We now have a new website. So what does that mean? Yes, the website that you're used to going to that is connected to my public relations firm, power98.5.com now has its own page, but yet we are still over at stephencuoco.com/live satellite radio. However, on the new website, we wanted to get a lot more advanced, a lot more into making it very community driven. So if you have any questions, we have a live feed. You can instant message myself and my team. Go into power985.com, click that little icon, that tick down at the bottom right hand corner, and send us an instant message. You can subscribe, sign up for emails to get on our VIP list for upcoming events, projects, and also casting. So without further ado, I've got a very, very good friend, someone who's extraordinary, extravagant, luxurious, and darn good looking. My friend Gregory Zarian, best known, and he is recognized as an award-winning actor, model, and host. He can most recently be seen in a recurring role on the third season of the hit HBO series and in the feature film 86 Melrose Avenue, now available on video on demand. I can't say too much or too little because there really is not enough to describe Gregory Zarian. So we're just going to get right to it and let him tell us all about, in addition to what I had just shared, how amazing he is. Gregory, welcome to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5.
Hi, okay, that was fantastic. If you could call me every day and do that, I'd be thrilled.
Hey, if you want me to, I will. I got your direct number.
No, thank you for being colorful in your description. I really, I'm sure, and I'm sure the same thing happens with you sometimes when people share, about all that you've done, Stephen, and even hearing you talk about what I've done. There's a moment where we're like, yeah, it's, hard work pays off, and thank you for celebrating me the way you just did. I love my job and I love what I get to do. So thank you for the beautiful intro.
You're welcome, and it's most deserved, Gregory. And I definitely would like to give a shout out and a big thank you to your representative, Matthew Gibson. He worked very well with my assistant, Christina, in putting all of this together. And so if he's listening, I hope he heard that. If not, please let him know. And I'll follow up with an email to him that I truly appreciate how on top of things he was on your behalf.
And also we have to do a big shout out to Marcos Papadopoulos for introducing us to each other. So, Yasu Marcos. But I love that you said that because it's so funny. This morning I went to Petco to get food for my pup, and I looked at the guy and I said, once my transaction was done, I said, "What's your name?" And he went, "Why?" And I said, "Well, I just wanted to say, hi, I'm Gregory, and I just wanted to address you by name and say thank you for being so helpful." And he said, "My name's Eric." And I said, "Eric, "You rock. Thank you for helping me this morning." And I said, "Why didn't you want to give me your name?" And he said, "So many people are angry now, and all they do is tell me what I don't do." And I thought, being on a job where you have to deal with customer service and do all these things, I'm so saddened that that's the new narrative. Yet it's so uplifting to have someone like you out of the gate thank Matt. And, I'm grateful for Matt. I call him, I'm lucky to have known, and I'm sure knew her, Nancy Ryder, huge publicist, and she unfortunately passed away last year. But she took care of my twin brother Lawrence and I for quite a long time. And there's this level of quality as a PR rep that she changed the game. So sometimes when I'm talking to Matt, I'm like, "Listen, if I call you Nancy, it's a compliment." And he's like, "She's an icon." For it wasn't just about getting somebody on the red carpet. It was about the person being on the red carpet with an experience. And, she changed the game of, you just don't show up at an event. You actually wear something great. You talk about emotions in life and feelings. So that was a really long comment, but I feel all very important.
What has been the most precious moment that you have found in your life and your career, whether differently or simultaneously, that has helped you to become more awakened and more relaxed to be who you are?
That is what a beautiful question. It's twofold. The best moment I've ever, to this date, ever encountered was being with my mom on her passing. The last couple minutes were just myself and her. And I feel like I got to, she brought me into this world, and I was able, with God, to carry her out. And it is the most awakening thing I've ever been part of. And as far as, as far as work, every job and every experience I've had in my career, be it a Westworld caliber or be it a independent film where I got to say two words, they've all been magical to me because somebody invited me to the party and there was a story that had to be told, and I was part of that storytelling.
Is there anything additional to that? It just felt like there was something more there. I mean, I was like really in tune. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I love that you found that. There was a moment, wow. You got right in there, Stephen. I was honest. I grew up going to Berlin, Germany. My mother was from Berlin, Germany. And we were lucky to spend a lot of time in Berlin with my grandparents. My grandfather was my hero. And when we went there as kids, of course, the Berlin Wall, the wall was up. And I was lucky to have been there, give or take the day after that the wall came down. And there was so much there that I grew up being part of that I was lucky enough to have been hired on a series with my twin, Lawrence, a couple years ago, Counterpart, that was on Starz Network. And we got to play the same person, different sides of the same person, and it was filmed in Berlin, Germany. And so we collectively got to go, quote unquote, home and go back home to see where we grew up, what we did, and connect with our grandparents and our mom in a very different, special way. Just because somebody's not here doesn't mean that they're gone. It just means that they're physically not here anymore. So we got to go home, and there were moments that Lawrence and I were walking down the street of where we spent a lot of our life, holding hands and being an identical twin. We are very, very close and very connected, and we got to hold hands and connect in that way. And that's a moment that I will forever take with me, because we didn't talk about it. We just held hands and we connected on it and remembered it. So that's probably what you were picking up when I was answering.
Mm-hmm. And do you know you shared that exactly at 11:11?
I just looked at the clock and I made a wish. I did.
You did. I was doing the same thing, and I was like, he's sharing that at 11:11, exactly in a moment, or in the moments when you began, the time change. I was like, okay, this is very, very powerful.
And what's interesting is this is why I wish this was live, because as I was speaking, I was looking at a photo of Lawrence and myself when we were in our early 20s, and right next to that, and I'll text it to you, because right next to the photo is a photo of us as adults. Mm-hmm. And it was just, my Lawrence is my identity. I'm independently myself. However, I'm genetically split. So he is so much intertwined with me. He is every, we are connected with every breath we take. So that was such a beautiful moment, and I love that you, one, called me out on it, and two, we could both make a wish together. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, and we did. And I want to thank everyone again. We are live with my good friend Gregory Zarian. He's best known from the hit HBO show Westworld, amongst many other platforms that you have appeared on. And if I may, go ahead and get over to this beautiful, detailed description of what Matthew had put together of what you've done. Back in May of 2020, you were nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performance by a Supporting Actor in a Digital Drama. And
this is true.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say it's a love story. It's called Venice the Series. It was I was nominated for its 6th season. I was on season 5. I played the twin brother to the character I played in season 5. I played Nick in 5, Nate in season 6, and it's a love story created and written by multi-Emmy award-winning actress Crystal Chappell, most notably known for Days of Our Lives and then One Life to Live and Guiding Light. And she played one of the first female gay characters on a national soap opera. And she took the storyline when the shows ended and brought it here to Los Angeles, Venice Beach. And she connected the two characters, her along with Jessica Lucia, and it's 6 seasons of a love story. And it just happens to be about 2 women. And Crystal Chappell was my soap opera crush. We met at a wedding of Nadia Bjorlin, who was on Days. And, I kind of fanned out a little bit. When I meet somebody that I admire and crush on, I couldn't talk. And I sent her a note saying, "Great meeting you." And she sent me a note saying, "Great meeting you." And a year later, she invited me to join Venice the Series. And the beautiful part of all of this is it's just a beautiful love story that happens to be about 2 women. And my character in season 6 talks about being bullied as a kid. And because I portrayed twins, talked about being bullied as a kid. Lawrence and I were bullied as kids, and my boss on the show bullied me. And it's this really beautiful full circle moment that was just real and honest. And I got to work with acclaimed actress Orla Cassidy, who is so generous that I feel that she held my hand to the nomination, because as actors, you're only as good as the people you get to participate with. So I'm very, very proud of the experience of the moment, of the storytelling, and that has thus connected me to being on being an ambassador for an amazing charity called Free to Love, and it's all about bullying and self-acceptance and, you know, dealing with identity and who you are and what you're about, and with the world being so much more about, you know, cisgender, binary, he, she, they, them. You can be part of their conversation and go to Free to Love, and somebody will be there to help you realize how wonderful you are and how you're not wrong for feeling what you feel and the stories that you will tell in your life. So it was a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment. And apparently one of the twins, or both the twins, are coming back season 7. So I'm excited.
When it comes to bullying, what is your best advice, Gregory, to speak up and speak out?
Walk away. If you are being bullied, make noise. If you are younger, scream, get attention so somebody older can come and help you. You know, what's interesting, Stephen, is because of where we are in the world. Online bullying, which I know everybody has heard about, somebody somewhere in the world that committed suicide because they couldn't handle the online abuse. And because of where we were with COVID, it became horrendous as to being bullied on the phone, on your computer, on the iPad, on every type of device. So what I say to my nephews or anybody that's listening, block, turn off your computer, call your parent, call someone, get help so that you can pull yourself out of the situation. You know, the two greatest things we have are our feet. Walk away. Just walk away. And, you know, it's interesting because when somebody comes at us or taunts us, we, for whatever reasons, engage. Don't engage. Because the truth is, the person that's bullying you has probably been bullied by somebody else, or something's happening at home, or they are just screaming out for help. What are your thoughts about bullying? Since you have this awesome platform, what do you say to anybody that says, hey, you know what, I'm being bullied. Can you help me here?
Very good question. I mean, very, very good question. I've got a couple thoughts. One is, when I was bullied as a kid, I did what you had suggested. If I knew that if I were to become combative or defensive in a situation, it would turn violent. Then there were times I did stick up for myself and defend myself, not meaning I resorted to physical, but I did speak my truth. And there were times to where it just comes from the pit, from the depths of, you know, the gut. And that person had realized, you know what, I'm not going to go here. You know, God, the angels, you know, something stepping in. It was many, many different things on occasions, walking away, defending myself, speaking up for myself, knowing and feeling. And like I said, there were angels there at times to where I could just feel a force just coming in to protect just in case, and to where, whether it was seen or unseen, that the person who was trying to verbally assault me, mentally assault me, and even tried to physically assault me, something magical happened. Something powerful, cosmic had happened at times. I had someone who pulled a knife out on me when I was 14 years old. And just cutting through to go to class, and I took a shortcut through the lunchroom, and guy came through and pulled out a pocket knife, and I had to get escorted to my classes for like a full month because this kid made such a veiled, if not most dangerous threat, to where my mom wanted to pull me out of school. I said, absolutely not. I said, I will not run from people like this. I'm not going to give him that power. This kid got expelled, but he made it a point by saying that he was going to find me, even coming back onto school grounds. So like I said, I got escorted. The teachers watched when I left class to go to another class. There were a couple times I was, you know, someone would walk behind a couple feet by not making it obvious until I got to where I needed to go, because it didn't leave. I'm going to be honest. I was bullied all throughout my school years to where it almost paralyzed me, Gregory, to go to college. I was so nervous about going to college because I thought that shit was going to carry there. And it took me 3 months to get comfortable being at university. And to realize that I was safe and that I was not going to have to be so coherently aware of 360 degrees around my surroundings and wonder who's going to come up from behind or from the side of me. Because I literally dealt with that all the way up to my senior year in high school, to where I was so glad when I was 16 that I finished actually high school early, took pre-college classes. But I finished down in Georgia to where I was still legally required to where I had to take some classes to finish out, but I was done by my sophomore year. But they did say that if I wanted to get my diploma early, I could. I said no. I'm glad I finished out. With that experience, I would say probably by my senior year, I was hardly there. I didn't have to be, but still, even when I was, the taunting was there until it got closer to the end of the year. Then it somewhat subsided. But even on the day I graduated and got my diploma, it just felt, I could feel the haters. I could just still feel them. Go ahead.
And no. I just, it's amazing that the experiences that we had, or anybody that has been bullied has how it totally permeates our DNA, and it gets so deep. You know, I've said to my dearest friends, because the bullying was so bad, and I wasn't, we were bullied, as twins. Lawrence and I were bullied collectively. When you're identical and you have the bowl haircut, and instead of wearing jeans, your parents put you. My parents were immigrants in this country, so we were. When you go to school, you wear dress shoes and you wear slacks and you wear nice shirts. We weren't allowed to wear sneakers and jeans and torn T-shirts. So kids, not knowing better, made fun of us, and they called us horrific names, and we were then bullied independently. And it sometimes my biggest fear were people, because all I was a kid that happened to look like somebody else. And when you had to pick somebody to be on your team, Lawrence and I were the last to be picked, and then standing there with your twin brother and, hoping that somebody picks you, and then somebody picks you over your brother or your brother over you. You're then like, okay, what's wrong with me? And then it creates this insecurity with your twin brother. And, it's fascinating how it can just, I don't want to say define you, yet define you. I had dinner with a girlfriend of mine that I've known since high school, and she was married to one of the jocks, and when he was a kid, he bullied me. And it's interesting because now that we have spoken, she shared with me a bit of his story. So he was just doing what he could do to survive. All we are doing is surviving wherever we come from. So every bit of my story toward him is gone because I thought, wow, he was just doing the best he could. And I now say to my nephews, both of them are athletes, and they are, I don't necessarily believe in, I believe all the kids are cool. Every kid is cool. We were all cool. I believe today, Stephen, you and I are cool. Everybody that's listening is cool. We just end up finding our pod and our little group that, we end up hopefully spending the rest of our lives with. But I tell my nephews all the time, go up to that one person or those couple of people that seem a little bit different, a little bit off, a little bit more quiet. Maybe there's a different culture that you see they're from, and just say, hello, my name is Xander. My name is Christian. Because that will change how it is for them. It'll change how it is for you. And maybe if there's a cooler group of kids, quote unquote, that sees you do that, it may open the door to create these amazing friendships, because we all have a story. And we are just sometimes too afraid to accept somebody that's different, because a lot of our differences are similarities, and it just means we just learn a lot more about different people.
Most of the time, and please let me know if you agree or what your thoughts are, is what I have found is from the people that were most horrific to me, but even in general, were jealous, envious, and hateful to the fact that I was absolutely empowered and strong through every single adversity. They sensed that there was something about my spirit and my light that I refused to be put in a situation to think about suicide, to think about falling down a drug or alcoholic behavior pattern, that I refused to make dangerous decisions or to put someone else in a dangerous decision. Now, don't get me wrong. It took me a long time to get out of victim mode. I mean, I was very angry. All right. So the victim self that I had as a kid wasn't anything that was internal. It was external, to where, you know, I was angry and I blame God, you know, I blame life. I'm like, there was even a point to where I came to a realization, Gregory, to where I was angry and I blamed myself by thinking, okay, we are intelligent beings. Why the fuck did I choose to be in this world? What conversation did I have with God? What did God, you know, say that had me trust to be here in this world? And, you know, I know people, you know, that are out there, or religious communities, or certain people are wondering, oh, we don't choose. Listen, I know my truth. And I know the fact of it is that we are God's children. And the idea of how the heck, now we all are under some sort of amnesia, because if we knew everything or what was going to happen, we probably wouldn't be here. But I do believe and hold a sense of responsibility that I had taken, that I do believe that I have with God, the universe, all the above, that I came here out of choice. And even though I'm under some sort of amnesia to be able to have these human experiences, Gregory, I did go through decades of feeling absolutely fucking pissed off at myself, at God, and all of this as to this amnesia that we are under, to the fact of, you know, I'm so knowing how powerful we are outside of these human bodies. Why am I not as powerful within this human body as I would be outside of this body? Like, a lot of things went through me, but I always knew and stayed true to the light, to the love that my parents who adopted me, what they gifted me, what they showed me, where they were consistent at proven to me that does exist, and that gave me the option to have an opportunity to decide, do I want to remain angry and hurtful and to give my victimizers power over me, or do I want to choose something different and really try to find and establish that peace and love? And I chose to establish that peace and love. It's so much easier to be angry and to be a victim than it is to be in peace and love. But you can come out, and I'm sure you can agree, on the other side. And that's where most people who are disconnected can't stand the most. And you're going to get two main types of people that will be drawn to people like us, Gregory, are the ones that want to be in that peace and light, but they don't know how to, or they're too lazy and complacent. So they want to feed off of our energy and our light to live vicariously through us in hopes that they will establish some sort of retribution or understanding and balance, or the ones that will want to come and destroy that. And that's where you got to be careful, because really they can both be an ally, or if we're not in a good place emotionally and mentally within ourselves, Gregory, they can become our worst adversary.
I absolutely agree. And in regards to that, we also give them so much power in our mind I believe that a few things. I believe that I believe we have to go through it to get to it. I believe that, me being bullied collectively and independently, and I believe people bully people as adults. I believe that it has given me a lot more empathy than a lot of people have. I deal with people with kindness in a way that I don't think, had I not been bullied, we were brought up to be gentlemen. So there's more of an understanding and a hope, because people are only reacting off of what I give them. I'm saddened for the people that remain victims, because here's the truth. We're all defined by, I believe we're all defined by a story. And I believe the story has carried us up until we rewrite the story. So who would we be without that story? Who are you if there's stories that people say, my parents didn't love me. So you are so defined by my parents didn't love me. So look at the way this person's life played out because they believe their parents didn't love them. What about changing the story and realizing your parents did the best you could? I'm not glamorizing every mom and dad. I'm just taking a chunk of what somebody could possibly be living in. And, here's the truth. You and I it goes back to what you were just saying. Hey, we were bullied and, poor us. Well, here's the truth. You were bullied. I was bullied. I think people bully each other every day, but what are you then going to do about it? And I choose to, if I'm going to let somebody hurt me or bully me or be aggressive, or I'm going to use the word abusive, but in the context of, verbally say horrible things or be abusive, quote unquote, to me, how am I then going to let that define my next moment? Am I going to give them the power and be like, okay, you're abusing me? Or am I going to find a way to not engage? It goes back to what we talked about, a little earlier in regards to how do we handle bullies? I'm not going to engage. I have a family member that is so aggressively abusive to me. Stephen, it changed because I didn't participate in it. And it was very kind. I'm like, listen, if you yell at me, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to say, hey, listen, you can't yell at me. If you are going to be physically aggressive toward me, I will walk away. And my interactions with you are going to change until this changes. I don't get treated the same way anymore because I did something different. We have a choice as to how we want to be treated. And I choose to not be abused. I choose to not be yelled at. I choose to, you and I, Stephen, can have a passionate conversation. You and I are both adult men. We both know if it got aggravated or aggressive or either of us got agitated, you and I can have a conversation, be agitated, but we are smart enough to know that when a tone changes and if it becomes disrespectful, we either engage or we don't engage. I just recently created this new boundary with somebody in my life. Hey, listen, if this gets a little bit awkward or uneasy or we have an agreement, you know what, I'm going to walk away for about 10 minutes because you can't take away what you say. My mom said that to me as long as I can remember. You can never take back what you say. And I don't want to say something I don't mean. So, hey, listen, I love you. I'm going to take a 10-minute walk. I'll be right back. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm a little pissed off right now, and I think what happened is fucked up. I'm going to call you at 5 o'clock. And I honor my agreement. I honor my commitment. And if I'm not ready to talk, I pick up the phone and say, listen, it's 5 o'clock. I'm not ready to address this right now. Let's talk tomorrow morning, and I will call you at 10 a.m. Because I also believe that as I am pulling myself out of a situation, somebody else is thinking about, okay, what can I do? What can I say? And if I pull away and say, I'm going to talk to you in 10 minutes, I don't want to mess somebody up about having them falter for 10 minutes, possibly questioning or wondering. It's me then being considerate of somebody else saying, I will call you back, and in 10 minutes, I will call you back because I love you enough or I care about you enough to not have you spin, to not have you question, so we can find some possible peace. That's how I take all of this now. Because, you know, dealing with people, it's scary. People scare the shit out of me. They do. And a lot of it is just, you know, in relationships, a lot of people I heard, a lot of my closest friends and a lot of people that I thought were going to stay connected and married for a lifetime ended during COVID, because you got to know the person you were finally living with, and kids and work and jobs. And what I've heard consistently most of, people never talked. People never shared. And it's not about saying you did this. It's about, hey, let me share what this is for me. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. Let me tell you what I'm feeling. This is how this is for me, because we teach each other how to treat each other. So I believe conversation. I believe, you know, saying nothing can set you free. So I believe it's so many things, and it can also be really simple. And it's also then human kindness, empathy. It's, you know, you and I, from the first time you and I spoke, and we're like, okay, we got to go, it's now an hour, are so wanting to be in the light. And I'm wanting to dive into your light. You know, I'm feeling that you are, you know, we are wanting to generate a huge light that possibly makes a difference, that somebody may get off this spot that we're doing and be like, wow, I never thought about that. I mean, I hope somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, my kid was being bullied and they heard what you had to say and they walked away. Or, hey, you know, I was resenting the person that was bullying me when I was a kid, but now I'm stronger and I can stand in it. And now I see them and realize they were just fighting for themselves as well. You know, that's my wish every day, that you know, the guy at Petco today, I asked him his name and I said, thanks for showing me where the poop bags are. He took care of my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, every action gets a reaction. And I hope every day I create a reaction in somebody, where somebody does something maybe a little bit different or just takes on something different. That is such a long answer, but you posed a question and that's where I went.
And I'm glad you went there, because what I would like to find out is, would you change anything that you have learned in your life that has allowed you to be who you are today? Or are you just completely happy with every lesson that you've learned because it has shaped you in who you are today? Oh God, no. I hope there's an infinite amount of lessons that are waiting for me. Because then how would I grow and how would I learn? And, you know, yours and my conversation, I don't want to be redundant in 20 minutes. So hearing you talk made me think, as I'm listening, okay, how am I with the bullies in my life? Did I stand up? And it's who are we if we're not in the uncover and discover? So I'm grateful. Listen, I'm grateful for every lesson, every moment. I am excited for whatever lessons are unfolding. It is not the be all. You know, it's kind of like my father. My father would say, unfortunately, my father passed away 10 years ago, and he, being an immigrant, didn't want me to be in the entertainment business. He saw me go to 1,000 auditions, but maybe get 1 or 2 jobs. And a few weeks before he passed, he saw me on this great guest starring role on the TV show The Mentalist. And it was great, and he saw it, and he was super proud of me. And he was like, now that you made it, you know, what do you have to say? And I'm like, I haven't made it. You know, I love that every day is, you know, did I have a great job? I did. You know, somebody said, you know, you've been Emmy nominated, you've made it. I'm like, what a great moment in my life. I haven't made it. I'm making it. So every day I'm making it to the next step. I want to spend my entire life climbing and learning and wanting, when people say they die, right before they die, they get that, I felt the light. I want to live my life being in that light, but I'm still climbing to find more
and experience more. And, you know, every experience is a knock on the door about, here, look at this, look at that, take this on, take that on. I mean, what do you think? How do you feel about, do you feel you've learned every lesson? Do you feel that you are at the gates of freedom and there's not more to learn? Or do you feel that there's so much ahead of you that is waiting for you to uncover and discover?
I appreciate the question, Gregory. I will say, and what's quite interesting is the conversation in what we're discussing today is I was meditating early this morning. I woke up. The dog had to go outside. I woke up at like 3:38 this morning, took her out, went back to bed, and then I don't know if I fell asleep or what, but I just knew it was like after 4 o'clock, something just energized me. And I decided I was going to stay awake. And I did. I did take an hour nap around 8 o'clock. But there was just this surge of peace. And within that moment in time that I was meditating, the dog was laying on a bed with me, just a flood of this concentration of things of what I've accomplished in my life. And certain things, my biological mother came to my mind in other moments in my life. So I will say within this beautiful moment with you, I am at peace. I truly am. Have I accomplished everything I've wanted in life? No. Do I become frustrated? Not angry anymore. I used to get so enraged, and the rage went to anger, anger went to disappointment, and now I'm just into where I just get, you know, slightly annoyed or, you know, frustrated once in a while when things don't move fast enough for me. Or I look around and I'm thinking to myself, and when the universe gives me another new project or something brand new, I'm like, okay, where is this going to go? But I don't worry about it. So to answer your question, which I hope I have, but I'm just going to sum it up. Am I completely happy with everything of who I am, what I've learned, and where I've been? Yes. Would I want to relive this life again? No. And I say that quite often, or I have, but yet I still keep coming back. Would I change anything? No. What I've learned from my biological family and my family who adopted me, has all helped to shape me to be who I am today. And even those that have been allies that have turned adversaries that have turned allies, I'm appreciative of everyone because it's helped shape me for who I am today. And realizing that they were people, parts of even personalities or an identity or behavior pattern that I was hiding from, or I was not wanting to admit that that's who I was, because during times when I was still in that victim mode. At the same time, I have a lot that I want to do, and I'm assuming you can agree. I don't want to speak for you, Gregory. I will be 48 in April, and I will say that as much as I have learned very much the hard way on how to be patient, I will honestly say I'm going to call out, I respect God's timing, the universe's timing, and my timing. It proves to me every day through experience, Gregory, that is a fact. I will not dispute it, because every day that I live life, timing really is essential and beyond important. I have many more okay, now I understand moments because of realizing it is, you know, in God's time. At the same time, I get very annoyed and upset because when you reach a certain age, especially where we are at now, I don't have 24 hours in a day. Every time I turn and look around, the day's almost over. And I was told at a very young age, and my parents even said, enjoy being a kid and the freedom that you have as a kid now, especially when I used to get very ornery and think like, oh my God, like what type of life do I have? I'm a military, you know, brat. We're moving around. What type of stability? But it's true. The older that we get, the less time we have. And even though we have 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds in a day, when you are at the age that we're at, it goes by so quick. It's like, no, like, can we speed up the casting process? I just cast for Big Brother 24. I just actually cast for 3 reality TV shows, and there's an email sitting in there, a couple of them right now from casting directors. It's like, there's a lot I want to accomplish, and I really don't want to end up, if I don't have to, like Colonel Sanders with Kentucky Fried Chicken, waiting until I'm 80 years old to finally say, you know, I really made it in my life. Like, I really have accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. Like, I want to accomplish a lot of this stuff now, because keep in mind, in our generation, Gregory, there was 5.4 billion people. There is now over 8 billion people in this world. And it is a lot different to be successful now than it was in our generation, to where we didn't have a lot of competition, because you had to have a certain level of expertise. You had to have training. You had to have licensing. You had to have, you know, degrees. You had to be proven through education and training to be at a certain level, to meet standards and qualifications to accomplish goals. Now, you can go and pay $5 online for some sort of certificate, call yourself a doctor, and then accomplish whatever. You know, I mean, people get more recognized, and I'm just going to say, it's great. You know, I'm going to put it out there. I come from a generation, I'm Gen X, to where you earn things through integrity. It astounds me that I bust my ass. My clients bust their ass. We all are working hard here. And I'm just going to put it honestly. I see fucking social media and people and these fake bots and shit praise motherfuckers who call themselves fitness trainers, who are really prostitutes, with semi-hard erections and sometimes cock rings on it you can see through those Calvin Klein underwear, banging their shit out online, and are getting hundreds of thousands of likes and views and fucking sponsorships. And I can't even get fucking verified on Instagram. And I'm running a business going on 30 years with integrity. So this is what I mean, to where this isn't victim. It's just, I'm done with the bullshit that porn and trash get praised more than people who have integrity and class. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I have no judgment of who someone's in porn or what they're doing. Whatever floats your boat, great. But I am fed up that every fucking time I go on Instagram or TikTok or something, especially, you know, TikTok being a kid's app, and it's not even in my preferences. I cannot escape half-naked men, hard dicks, semi-hard dicks, all this shit on fucking line, and I may break 200 likes and things like that, and I'm seeing here of thousands to hundreds of thousands of bullshit of people posting porn.
Yeah.
And I feel like that now in my career, instead of working hard the way that we had to do back in the 80s and 90s, because you're competing against people who are very intelligent, very credible, very strong, very goal-oriented, and who have such establishment, to now I constantly have to muckle through the mud of dicks all over the place and ass. And it's like I didn't realize that now I'm living the life of getting through the minutia of porn. So there's my elevator speech. I'm giving the mic back to you, but to sum it up, to, you know, also answer the question and put it out there, and to people over at Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and everything else, you know, enough with the shit. Okay, you leave that up to OnlyFans. I don't need to see every fucking time I go online a hard dick through Calvin Klein underwear, or somebody laying on a bed calling themselves a fucking fitness trainer and then wanting to go, oh, hey, go to my OnlyFans. If you're going to do porn, fine, do porn, but do it in a way so us people, as you as an actor, you know, what you're doing, what I'm doing as a public relations rep, you know, running a radio show, let us have our own platform so we can do business, because we want to do business with real people that know how to fucking do business. Not to where we're left to where we're trying to do business and get jobs and go to casting and everything else and book talent. But we've got to go through a minutia to find those people, because everything is porn. So you know, I have no problem, you know, doing what I need to do, Gregory, but I would like to be able to do it, or to get where I want to go next, which is television, and somehow be able to bypass, so I don't need to maybe be on social media as much, because I really cannot go on social media anymore without Instagram and Facebook and TikTok putting stuff in live feeds and showing me people who I don't care for their content and want to see, and all I'm seeing is dick, 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 ass, dick, 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 dick all over the motherfucking place.
And tits.
And tits, but keep in mind, our era, it was all about tits and ass. It was Playgirl. Now it's all about dick and ass.
No. I get it, but here's the thing. But everything you were saying, I've been on a couple shows where the person that had 1 million followers came back and I didn't. Not that they were a better actor, but they just had more of a social media following. And I'm like, hold on. I grew up in the time when it was about talent. I grew up in the time when it was about you had to have talent, you had to have experience, you had to be great to work with. And what I'm really actually enjoying now more than not is most of my business now with self-tape, and sometimes you actually go into the room and you get to talk to a casting director, you get to see somebody. It's going back to the days where they want to say hello to you, that you are more than just this chiseled body or this, you know, buxom blonde or whatever, that you actually have to walk the walk and talk the talk and actually be a little talented. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have 1 million followers. However, what I do know is that I'm a gentleman. I show up. I'm on time. If I am walking past craft services, I will ask you if I can get you anything. I will clean up my dressing room. I'll say thank you and please. I'll ask everybody in hair and makeup, hey, can I get you something to drink? I will go up to my director, my producer, and say thank you so much. And by week's end, casting will have a thank you candle. That's what I know. And that's what I try to instill to my nephews. You know, an agent once said to me, she said, you know, you send too many thank you cards. And I went, we'll never have this conversation again. Like, I send too many thank you cards. Well, they know you want to work. And I said, every time they hire me and I make a few grand on their jobs, I have 30 seconds to write a thank you note. I do. I don't care what you think. They got a card. And now, and people don't think like this, with everything being online and everything being, oh, I got a text and I'm on my Apple Watch and whatever, me handwriting a note, I will then get a thank you card or a thank you text, which I never expect. Hey, your note is on my bulletin board. Hey, thank you for this amazing candle. And here's, I believe every action, as I said earlier, has a reaction. The candles that I send out to people that have been gracious enough to like what I do and hire me and create a working relationship, will then talk about how great the candles are. But if they turn the candle over, they will see the manufacturer, who is my sponsor in AA, and his name's Timothy Sullivan. So I am not only being thanked for a great candle, but I'm also paying it forward and getting his company more awareness, because I'm grateful for him for saving my life every day. Yes, I'm sober over 16 and a half years, and I'm grateful for it, and it's kept me here, and it's made me a better man, and It's one blink at a time, but it's also giving back to my amazing sponsor who has dealt with a lot of my bullshit throughout the years, and people really like his candles. So it's a beautiful way of paying it all forward out of gratitude and thanks. So I agree with you. Who were these people when it's actually a face-to-face? Like, let's have a conversation. Tell me what you're about. Share with me. Most of the jobs I've gotten before COVID were, hey, let me ask you a question. Lawrence, when I was saying Lawrence, we were on Nip Tuck together, and sitting in front of us was Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk. They are the wonder team of everything American Horror Story, true crime, Versace, and this past year, impeachment. So it is this wonder team. The reason why Lawrence and I got the job, and I want to believe that, we're talented, was there was this moment where we were in the callback, and I wouldn't let go of, we played twin plastic surgeons. I wouldn't take my arm off Lawrence, so I kind of made it a little bit incestuous, and everyone has a fantasy about twins, good, bad, or indifferent, boy twins, male twins, whatever, girl twins. I saw Brad months and months and months after we filmed and it aired, and he just said, one of my favorite moments to date is the way that you were caressing your brother's shoulder. Never even thought about it, but I never thought about that that's why that happened, but him telling me that made it go, got it. It's an in-person experience. It's a moment. So that is my and here's my plea to anybody that lives on their phone. Pick up the phone and call somebody. I write my aunt a greeting card twice a month. Write a card. Do something different. A text, it's great. Do something a little bit greater. Make it an experience. That's my 5 cents, damn it. And I didn't even have to show my ass.
And you didn't have to put a cock ring on and have a semi-erected pick and wearing Calvin Klein underwear while you're laying on the bed.
It's touche. Touche. So listen, everybody, Stephen and I are available for future engagements, and we will show up in really nice suits. We will say thank you and please, and if we're passing the buffet, we will see if you want peanut butter or chocolate chip cookies. Thanks.
And some mimosa or champagne, and yeah, I'm loving that. Gregory, I so want to thank you for being with us today. I know my assistant had shared with Matthew would probably be about a half hour, 45 minutes, but this is why I really don't know how much time, because it really is about you and for you. I want to thank you for the questions you had asked me and to be part of your interview in that way. I really want to build more on this. I did send an email over to Matthew letting him know that let's get you back on. This is your new home. You're more than welcome to come on anytime, whether you want to promote, give community awareness, even to just simply talk and to share as what we did today. Before you give any golden nuggets of any upcoming projects, where to find you, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 with my good friend Gregory Zarian, who is an award-winning actor, model, and host. He can most recently be seen in the recurring role on the 3rd season of the hit HBO series Westworld. Gregory has been seen across the board on General Hospital, Counterpart, Criminal Minds, Bones, Revenge, The Mentalist, The Family Business, Entourage. The list goes on and on. Congratulations, Gregory, on
thank you so much.
An echelon example of talent and perseverance and dedication to your craft and your skill and your art and your art form to be, this extraordinary actor. Are there any upcoming projects that we can look forward to, or shows or series or films within 2022 or beyond?
Yes, I actually, a couple things. Thank you for asking. I am part of a new iteration of Scooby-Doo. It is called Mystery Incorporated. They are finalizing the pilot as we speak. I play Sheriff Sam Rogers. I play Shaggy's dad.
Ooh.
I am so in the movie 86 Melrose Avenue that is out now on all platforms, specifically Amazon Prime. It is a hostage thriller. It is all about mental health, PTSD, and it goes back to what you and I were talking earlier, Stephen, about all the stories that stay in our minds and the situations that hold us back. It is such an amazing movie, so I really want everyone to give me an hour and a half of their day or night and just watch this phenomenal movie. It's written and directed by Lily Mata. But the guy that plays the opposite lead, his name's Dave Elza, phenomenal actor. He created Mystery Incorporated, and he brought me on to be Shaggy's dad. And it is this labor of love. It is probably one of the most fun projects I've ever got to be part of. And I'm Shaggy's dad. And I got to, and the beautiful part of this iteration is Scooby. It's the first live action Scooby. So we have a real dog, and he is awesome, and it's with some really, really talented people. That'll be out this spring, and then I start filming a horror flick the beginning of March. It's called Martinez, Margaritas, and Murder, and it's super, super fun, so I'm excited about that. And then later in the spring, I start filming the rom-com Roasted. So yeah, it's 2022 is, I think we all had a minute to shut down, and I think we all had a minute to see who we want to be and who we, I believe you take what you need and leave the rest. So I chose to leave a lot in 2021. We've survived a pandemic, and if you didn't learn something from it, I believe that we should all wash our hands more, be more socially aware, and put your hand out to the person that looks like they're struggling a little bit. And the next time you call someone and they're helping you on the phone, ask them how their day is. And just go, hey, how are you? Thank you so much. And if you get a customer service survey, fill out the damn thing. Let's make a difference. I truly, let's make a difference. To find out who somebody's manager is and just say, hey, I want to tell you that I think Stephen was awesome today. And I really appreciate it, because 10 times out of 10, people think you're going to bitch about something. But when you come back with a compliment and say, thank you so much, even if it's not the best experience, you don't know where somebody's at in their day. Just go, hey, how are you? Not, hi, can I have this? I always say, hi, how are you? What's your name? And they'll say, I'm sorry. I'll say, what's your name? And Susan, hi, Susan, how are you today? I'm okay. No, are you having a good day, Susan? Are people being kind to you? It's a great day or it's a bad day. And real quickly, a year and a half ago, I was talking to this woman. She was helping me with my car, and I didn't know how to do something. And I said, are you having a good day? She said, I'm in New York. And I said, wow, you guys were hit by COVID hard. Are you okay? And she burst into tears. Her boyfriend died. And we spent 20 minutes on the phone. And it was a beautiful moment, because I got to be there for somebody that I will probably never speak to again. But we had a great moment. So I think we can all make a difference.
To add to that, I was like, oh, do we really want to add? Because that was a beautiful closing out, Gregory. But to share, truly, I was at the post office just recently getting my passport renewed. Now, I'm sure that you know that normally when you go to the post office, like if you've got to get envelopes or fill out things, they want you to step aside and, they'll take care of the next customer. I did speak to the person, the supervisor, because the girl did not have me leave. I paid, I filled out both forms, I did everything there, and I was just astounded over the customer service. But it goes back to what you said. It's how we make people feel. It's giving them permission that they are also included when there's a greeting, when there is an introduction, just like what you did. It brought into a real connection that you had. And I asked to speak to the supervisor, and the supervisor specifically said that they rarely ever get someone that comes over to give a compliment, a recommendation, you know, a nice word to say about one of their employees, it's usually a complaint. And I'm like, well, it's how you treat people. You know, sometimes if you're getting poor service or maybe not the type of service that you want, it goes back to what you said. It's like, are you interested in what that person is offering? Did you really show consideration for the hello, good morning, a good afternoon that they gave you? And I have seen many times where they don't. It's, oh, real? Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, this is what I want. So I'm really happy that you said that, Gregory. Thank you.
My pleasure. Can I just throw two more real quick things out there? When you are walking down the street and if you see somebody's meter has expired with a car there and you have a nickel, a quarter, or a dime in your pocket, pop it in there, because I've learned this from one of my, she's one of the icons in my heart. Her name is Francesca, and she has taught me how to do 26 and 2, formerly known as Bikram Yoga. She said, just leave footprints of kindness wherever you go. They will never know that you did it, but they know that they didn't get a ticket. And it's such an easy gift. And it's not about, hey, I put a quarter in your car. It's just about doing it. And she truly lives in my heart. And the last thing is for anybody that is struggling with sexual identity and who they are and whether or not they fit in, and I said this earlier, please visit freetolove.org, and that's free, F-R-E-E, the number 2, L-U-V.org. Somebody is there, and also Trevor Live, Trevor Project, Trevor Chat. You are not alone if you are feeling alone, scared, questioning, wondering. The beautiful part of having a phone or a computer is you can find somebody online at any second of any day and say, hey, I am struggling, and you are not alone, and somebody will reach back out and hold your hand and guide you because you are fucking fantastic. And I just needed to say that because we all sometimes feel like we're on our own, and we are not.
And then there was the second one, too. You said there were two things.
Oh, I did. Leaving quarters in people's parking meters and Free to Love.
Where would you like?
I mean, I could.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I could give you 5 more things, but I think you and I could talk for hours.
We definitely could. And if you feel that, listen, if you got a couple more, drop those gems. Also, where can everyone connect to you? I know you're popular and hot on Instagram. Is Instagram just it, or where else can people connect with you?
On Instagram, at Gregory Zarian. On Twitter, at Gregory Zarian. On Facebook, at Gregory Zarian. And I have my website, gregoryzarian.com. My email is gregory@gregoryzarian.com. It's super simple. And I I love engaging. I love conversation. And I think we can all make a difference. And let's just do it together. I'd rather do it together than be a band of one.
And remember about the parking meter. You can save people lots and lots of money, especially if they're in LA or New York, is that ticket can be hefty. And you never know if maybe they had tickets before that and could prevent them from losing their license and getting bigger fines.
Exactly. Period.
Gregory, we're going to close out, but I definitely would like for you to just give us less than 1 minute, stay on the line. Just want to close out personally with you once we're off of the live here on Power 98.5. Thank you for being with us today, Gregory, on Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco. You can download the iOS or Android app, tune in on Alexa, go to the new and incredible website of Power 98.5 at power985.com. We can take live requests there. You can give us, shoot us an instant message. If you have any questions for guests, if you love this interview and what Gregory had to say and what he shared, drop us a line, send us, an email, send us a message through Instant Messenger. There are many ways to connect with us. This episode will re-air. I'm going to re-air this. Today's Wednesday. We're going to re-air it for Thursday and Friday. And I'm going to do at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Gregory, thank you again. Just hold the line. And congratulations on everything that you're doing, what you're about to do, and on your upcoming projects for 2022. And hopefully, Big Brother, you'll see me on Big Brother. Hopefully this year they will have me on as a contestant. I've been casting since 2010, or there'll be another show. I know I'm going to apply for The Circle, if I can apply for that on Netflix. Why I say I can apply, because I don't know exactly what demographic that they're looking for, but I'm thinking about trying out for that. So for what it's worth, we've got a lot more to do here in this world, Gregory, and I'm very happy that we are here for each other.
I second that. Here's to more together, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure.
Thank you. Enjoy your day, everyone. And remember, go out there and remember to, you see a parking meter? Put some change into there. Prevent someone from getting a ticket. Do a kind deed.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.